once you have uh, done your interfacing, gotten all of your pieces prepped in that way, your next instruction is number 14, which is to stitch pocket lining 13 and the pocket 13 together, leaving an opening on the lower edge. Okay, so pocket 13 is this pattern piece right here. And remember, when we cut, you cut one of your fashion fabric, what's going to be on the outside of your bag, and then you cut one of whatever your lining fabric is, which for me was this sort of old curtain that I'm using. Okay. You want to put these together in order to stitch them. And the way that we do that is we put right sides of the fabric to right sides of the fabric. This is very important to remember as you work through this project. It's one of the most common mistakes that gets made by people when they're learning how to sew, is that they will put it together looking at what they want to see when they're finished, which is this. I want to see this is my pocket, okay? And so sometimes you think, oh, well, that's what I should be looking at. It is not. When you are sewing, because you're going to sew it and you want your seams to be to the inside, you want to put the right side of your fabric to the right side of your fabric in order to put it together, okay? For me, I just made an executive decision on this. This rake could be either up or it could be down. I want it to be up, so I'm putting it with the rake up, and I'm putting this print going that direction, okay? And so then that means that where I'm going to leave my opening on the bottom edge is down here where I have this piece of serged fabric down here from the scrap that I cut out, okay? So that is what you want to do. The next thing you in order to make sure you're doing this the right direction. The next thing that you want to do is you want to pin it for stitching. Reach over here and get my pins. When we pin for stitching, we tend to pin perpendicular from the edge of your fabric, okay? This is what's going to be following your seam allowance as you're going to on your sewing machine, as you're going to see in just a minute, okay, is this outside edge here. So you want to pin so that your pins are going perpendicular to that edge. Just like with my interfacing on a square like this, I am also going to pin my corners first. So I'm going to go ahead and stick a pin in each of these corners so that I can sort of see that everything is nice and flat. Okay. Then I am also, because I tend to orient from the right, I tend to use my right hand as my dominant hand, I'm going to put the pins in perpendicular from this edge, going from right to left, because then I can use my right hand to pull them out as I'm making my way through the machine with this project. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to need a whole bunch of pins, so I'm going to do maybe 3 on each of these sides, plus my corner pins. I think just 2 at the bottom and at the top, and then three over there, and then we're going to do a couple at the bottom. Pull them away like that. Okay, and you can see it kind of looks like a porcupine with all of the little quills sticking out of it. Okay, but your piece is now prepped and ready to sew. So we'll meet you at the sewing machine in just a minute.